Hello, we're with you today in Warren, Ohio once again, and we have a experience of, as we know, complete health and restoration of all of our cells. Every cell in the body naturally eliminates the dead cell or the cell that is no longer in use when new cells are reproduced. This is a natural occurrence in the human body. And so we know that we are able to do this repetitively every day, if you will, a new layer of skin, every day a new stomach lining, and every 7 months, I believe, a new liver, and every 7 years, even our bone within 7 years, and other organs multiply restore and take the place of those dead cells. So what we're looking at in tumors and congestions and these sicknesses are a blockage or congestion of the body, these dead cells taking the place of some area of the body that's susceptible to the storage of this albumin or undigested protein from the dead cells of our body. So new cells are reproducing themselves, and as cancer is titled, right, a malproduction of cells, basically a replication of cells in our body that's just out of the ordinary. So what we're looking at is cleaning those dead cells out of our body so that our cells have materials and areas of flow of lymph, blood, and nerve plasma, and blood itself, red blood cells, so, and lymph, that we have an interchange in the removal of the dead cellular tissue so that the congestions are not locating themselves within areas of our body. And this is what Dr. Edie Koning, Lorraine Day, Dr. Richard Schultz, Dr. Bernard Jensen, and Dr. Christopher at Christopher's Herbals and herballegacy.com, the University of Natural Healing that he created in Utah, now called the School of Natural Healing, and those who taught them, and the ancestors who had gone before us knew that elimination of the stool, and elimination in our urine, and elimination of our carbon from our lungs, an elimination of gases, liquids, and solids from our skin every day. Now, just a side note, the skin actually itself is a part of the nervous system. In embryo, there were three layers that formed our body: the muscular tissue, the brain and spinal cord, and the skin. The brain and spinal cord, the brain and spinal cord and skin were one portion of the three primary layers of embryonic material. And so our skin basically feels our environment. It's a wise unit. And if you were to trace the nerves from the brain and spinal cord, from the brain itself and the cranial nerve, you would find that there is, in the cranial nerves and the spinal cord, branches, small microscopic even branches, but that the skin itself is the very unit of measurement within the environment that we're in. It can tell hot, it can tell cold. It would be said by science today that it is innervated by the nervous system. However, it is the nervous system from embryo with wisdom within it. Because as you excise the body and you take apart, you cannot basically recognize there's those nerve innervations into the skin. And so the skin itself must contain an electrical ability. Yes, through the fascial layer, but at the surface of the skin and the receptors in the body and the skin layers and the epidermis and the muscular fat layers below the traversing of those nerves can't be seen directly. And it gives uh, our body the opportunity to be expressing and receiving environmental temperatures and solids, if you will, that we touch, if they were to be pointy, if they were to be, and it gives a gaseous experience too. You know, you can feel the heaviness or the density of the air around you. Now, enough of that. What we're looking at today is the practical ways of communicating the elimination process of our body, not only through the skin, and the assimilation process of our body, not only through the digestive system, eating and breathing in oxygen, assimilating it, and assimilating new thoughts through our brain, and assimilating sunlight on our skin, but receiving through the skin itself, assimilating nutritional components through the skin. We see these epidermal patches, or these skin patches that we use today for the skin to absorb in the medicine through the skin. It's our body capable, very capable of receiving nutrition and assimilating nutrition through the skin just as much as it is 1.7 pounds on average releasing waste from our body daily. And so, very thankful today to communicate to you about this organization within our body in the pathways of elimination. And so we know that the spleen and the pancreas and the liver and the gallbladder and the kidneys and the colon have the opportunity to, in the abdominal cavity, release their materials into whether the liver, into the bowel, or directly into the bowel through the gallbladder and the pancreatic cystic duct, right? The pancreas has a duct and the gallbladder have a duct. They both directly join and empty their materials of waste into the small intestine, so that we have next the elimination of those materials through those organs, the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas, through our elimination system. And so we see that the skin can release 1.7 pounds per day, and some, it has been said, have released 26 pounds of gases and oils through the skin. Sweating, and I know add some more even too, that we can begin to break down and measure how much that is on the skin. Science, and I think Guyton's textbook of physiology mentions that it is possible for some to release upwards of 26 pounds. And on a nominal basis, the normal average adult will release 1.7 pounds from their skin of materials that the body cannot use anymore. So in the imperative, in the importance of us releasing wastes from our body to give our body the clear pathways of reproduction of new cellular tissues and new organs themselves within 7 years, everything within 7 years, the bone marrow, Deepak Chopra again says that it can be moved up to 7 days or 1 day, that you can have all of your tissues restored. So, let's look at the capability of that, our function, our breath, and our movement, the expanse of our chest, the expanse of our abdomen, to receive oxygen within the body and create that flow of oxygen-filled blood to the brain and oxygen-filled blood to the rest of the body. This experience of receptivity of oxygen within and the receptivity of movement of our somatic, if you will, meaning the whole body experience, in touch with our breath, in touch with our higher brain areas of higher mental capacity, where we're able to recognize that something's moving, something is different right now, and that's a key. It's a key sensory input to the cerebellum, the area of the brain that recognizes what's going on in the body, that creates balance and is involved in so much of our comfort in our skin, so much of our comfort in our body. And so we look at this experience of utilizing plants that create elimination, plants that create elimination in our body, like cayenne pepper, ginger, lobelia, St. John's wort, valerian, kava, aloe, hyssop, just about every plant on the planet, when it's in its whole form, as it comes, not its hyperchium, St. John's wort extract, one small phytochemical that's in St. John's wort, or they all have side effects at that level. They experience chemical bonding or chirality within the body, measuring weights and measures of atoms, and your body reacting to that hyperchium. which is called St. John's wort today. Those are what are tested in the laboratories today, the Hypericum rather than the St. John's wort, with side effects, tremendous side effects from one small isolated component, as we know monosodium glutamate or glutamic acid even, or any of the nutritional components in nutraceuticalism today have their own side effect. Though they create a symptom removal, they are responsible for leaving behind cell debris and creating chemical reactions in the body to balance out. Our body will do that. Something that's foreign to the body, something that doesn't fit or doesn't belong in the body will balance it out. So we're looking at using the whole complete plant, everything within the plant.